Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Is it because I was swearing inside? Is it better now? Can you hear well? Good. Let us chant 12th and the 13th verse together, 4th chapter. Kangshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram himanushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram mam vidya kartaram avyayam. In these two verses, Bhagavan is telling some secrets about karma. Kangshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha. The connection to this verse was, Arjuna is asking Bhagavan, if you are that absolute bliss, if you are the supreme most source of Ananda, why is it that everybody doesn't seek you? Because truly what we are seeking is Ananda. And you say Bhagavan is Ananda Swarupa. So why don't people directly come and seek you? Why do they seek something else through you? Bhagavan says, it is not surprising because in general, all of us want some karma phala in our lives. Some karma phala, whatever can be accomplished through karma, that is what we are seeking. Bhagavan says, I bless them with whatever they have asked. They ask me something of this world, I will bless them with something in this world only. If somebody asks me, somebody asks for me, I bless them with me myself. So what are the 4 things that can be accomplished in this world through karma? 4 P's they were. First one was called producing. Sanskrit will come later, English words. Producing, procuring, permutating, purifying. Producing is utpadyam. Utpadyam. Procuring is prapyam or apyam. What is permutation? Vikaryam. And something is already there, you are just moving around and you seek something different. Some different result we are seeking. Even growth is vikaryam only. And last one was samskaryam, purifying. We saw example with food, we saw example with different desires we have in our life. They will fall under these 4 categories. Bhagavan says, whoever has asked me these 4 things, I have blessed them with that. Now the catch here is, throughout life, if one remains busy in these 4 things, Bhagavan says that person has missed out a great opportunity of human birth. This is where the 4 Purusharthas come into picture. We say dharma is a regulating factor for artha and kama. Artha means resources, wealth, prosperity. Through that we seek to fulfill different desires, kama. But the regulating factor is dharma. Based on dharma only, one attains wealth. Through that, dharmic desires he fulfills. But it is said the main purpose of human birth is moksha. So if one is not careful and one remains only in these 4 things, meaning remains in karma phala, they will not seek karma phala data. Karma phala data is Bhagavan. So that is one point. Bhagavan is trying to emphasize here. Another thing is, Bhagavan says, if we appreciate nature of karma well, then we can get quick results, we can make quick progress in our life by intelligently working towards our goal. That was the second line of 12th verse. Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. In Manushya Loka, karmaja siddhi is very quick. Whatever results have to come through karma, Bhagavan says those results can be attained pretty quickly if we know the intelligent way of putting forth efforts. In other lokas, you need lot of other qualifications to get results. Karmaja siddhi is not very quick in other lokas. We had seen the example of Indra, 101 years to get Brahma Vidya. At least in Manushya Loka, Bhagavan says that result is quick. Keeping this statement in mind, next verse has come. Chatur varnyam maya srushtam. Bhagavan says, in Manushya Loka, results are quick, no doubt. But we should know how to invest our energy in our work. So what is that secret? Bhagavan says, match your inner aptitude with your outer work. Matching inner aptitude with outer work. Bhagavan says the framework for that, what I have created, is called as 4 varnas. The meaning of the word varna also we had seen. Varnyate anena iti varnaha. Varnam. What is varna? That by which something can be very well defined. In Hindi we use that word, right? Iska varnan kijiye. Varnan kijiye means what? I will give you a topic, elaborate on it very well. That varna, if you apply it to our mind, means that thing which will define the aptitude of our mind, the tendencies of our mind. That is called as varna. And in this, we saw 4 categories. One category was sattva guna high, who can grasp things very quickly, reflect on things very quickly, and come to a conclusion about the future. Visionaries. Sattva guna is needed for that. Second combination was rajas high, sattva is secondary. I hope 3 gunas all of you are very familiar with, right? Sattva guna means knowledge, rajoguna is dynamism, tamoguna is inertia. And all 3 are important. So rajoguna high, sattva guna is at the back. They will be called as kshatriyas. The first group was called brahmanas. Second group is kshatriyas. Lot of good work is accomplished through this combination. If somebody is dynamic, at the same time, he has a vision behind his dynamism. Great work can be accomplished, and it is said a leader must be like that. All kshatriyas, this is the ideal combination to have, rajoguna predominant, sattva-guna backing it. Then came the third category, rajoguna predominant, instead of sattva-guna it was tamoguna which was secondary. That is called as Vaishya. So what was the combination there, or what made them have tamoguna as the secondary thing? Lot of prosperity, profit should be there, but they say all of it should be for me. So that is where the third combination came. Rajas high, tamas less. And the last one was predominance of tamoguna. And we had seen how to appreciate that mindset. It happens to all of us. More we appreciate it, more we will know how our rishis came up with a framework to come out of that tamoguna. We had seen when tamoguna is overpowering, somebody comes and tells us, I have a plan. Do you want to contribute to this planning process? Let us sit together and discuss. He said, my mind is not working right now. When you are able to, when you are about to go to sleep, somebody says, you have to do some planning. He said, right now don't come, tomorrow morning you come. Or somebody gives some work and says, do you want to join this work right now? Let's go and do something. He says, no, even dynamic work I cannot do. So there it is said, do something by which you can come out of that tamoguna. And we ourselves take so many tasks. That's why that Upanishad mantra also we saw, Uttishtata Jagrata. When tamoguna is high, just do something so that you come out of that tamoguna. So this was the fourth category. Bhagavan says, appreciate our own inner tendencies well. We can make good use of the work outside. If we can ideally match it, nothing like it, we can grow in and through that work. But Bhagavan also says, society, these might be the different categories, which are created in terms of the work that we do. But as an individual, he says there are 4 more categories, which we have to go from 1, 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. He says that those are the 4 ashramas. It is not that few people are brahmacharis, few people are grahasthas, few people are vanaprasthis, few people are sannyasis. He says that is the journey that each jiva has to travel at different stages of life. We don't have to switch varnas, but he says we have to grow through ashramas. Within varna, what was the main goal? To increase sattva guna and to become fit students for moksha purushartha. This part also we had seen. For a kshatriya, the combination was rajoguna high, sattva guna backing it. For Vaishya, the combination was rajoguna high, tamoguna backing it. So the purpose of their own dharma is to stay in that varna vyavastha and to increase sattva guna by staying there. Kshatriya need not become Vaishya, Vaishya need not become Kshatriya. Staying in that varna, increase sattva guna, become the best, most sattvic Kshatriya, most sattvic Vaishya, and so on. But in ashrama, it is said graduate from brahmacharya either directly to sannyasa or through grahastha. Don't stop at grahastha. Next stage is also there, which is vanaprastha. Vanaprastha is another beautiful ashrama. Sometimes it is not as discussed as much as grahastha and sannyasa. That ashrama, which is tapapradana. Tapapradana means where austerity is given a lot of importance. Not maybe physical austerity, but more in the sense of turning inwards. Tapapradana ashrama it is. We had seen in Bhajagovindam class, I think, right? Shashtyabdi Purti, 60th year when it is celebrated. There are some traditions where they do the marriage thing again. Means Varamala is exchanged, everything is done as though they are getting remarried. The symbolic meaning there is, now our sambandha is different. Means we are seekers on this path. We will support each other in sadhana. So that is as though a person is entering into vanaprastha ashrama. The main purpose of having this human birth is towards that goal we will walk together. So like this, Bhagavan says, if we can lay out the framework of our life, so many things we plan in life. Bhagavan says we should plan our life as a whole also. What is the stage of our brahmacharya? What is grahastha priority? How can we live grahastha such that scaling down becomes a joy? Otherwise it's not easy, Scaling down is not easy for the unprepared mind. In that way, Bhagavan says we will get kshipram karmaja siddhi. If varna dharma is followed properly, one will get prosperity outside. Imagine that person whose gunas are matching his work, he'll thoroughly enjoy his work, he'll be able to bring out his fullest potential. If ashrama dharma is followed properly, that person will reach the goal. Both are important. So staying as a kshatriya, he can go to brahmacharya ashrama, kshatriya grahastha ashrama, kshatriya vanaprastha ashrama. Don't say kshatriya sannyasa ashrama. Huh? In sannyasa, all titles are dropped. Okay, so that is the journey. I feel more we appreciate this topic from Bhagwan Shankaracharya's Bhashya, more clarity we will have. And whatever points I presented, they were from the Bhashya only. Another source of all these pointers are Puja Gurudev's talks, which he has given on these topics. They are our pramana. How do you say that this Varna Vyavastha is based on gunas? He says, who is better person to know that than Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji? Every point that is elaborated, he has written over here. We just have to appreciate in the right context. Okay, 14th verse, let us chant. Namam karmani limpanti Name karma phale spruha Iti mam yobhijanati Karma bhirna sabadhyate Namam karmani limpanti Name karma phale spruha Iti mam yobhijanati Karma bhirna sabadhyate. Previous verse, Bhagavan said, Chatur varnyam maya srishtam. These 4 varnas have been created by me. Very next verse he says, Arjuna, whatever things I do, I don't get tainted, I don't get lepa of any karmas that are done by me. It is not only in the previous verse context. Bhagavan is saying any karma that I do as Avatari Krishna, there is some knowledge in which I abide. That is why I don't get affected by any karma. Namam karmani limpanti. Limpanti means layer. Have you painted your house anytime? Coat number 1, coat number 2. This is like that. World puts impressions on us when we do karma. We'll appreciate or try to open up that word more. First, let us see the literal meaning. Bhagavan, why don't you have this layer of karma? He says, Name karma phale spruha. I don't get affected by doership as much because I am not holding on to enjoyership. That is the secret. Huh? If somebody is very attached or eagerly looking forward or insisting on a particular result, and then you tell that person, don't be affected by that karma. Don't be a doer. You say that is not possible. The first thing which should reduce is, Bhagavan says, spruha in karma phala. Insistence in karma phala. On the strength of that, he says, I don't get lepa of karma, I don't get affected by karma while I am doing that action. This is one meaning of it. Second meaning is, because I am ever abiding in that akarta atma. One of the indicator of Bhagavan is that one who never loses sight of his higher self. Even while he is doing several leelas, different avatara, prayojanam he is accomplishing, he never loses sight of his akarta, abhokta nature. Because of that, Arjuna, namam karmani limpanti. Even though you might see me doing so many things, I am your charioteer. I am strategizing so many things for you. Charioteer's job is not easy. Huh? It is said if the warrior is hurt, the charioteer can save. That's why Duryodhana chose Shalya as the charioteer. So he was very sharp, very astute in maneuvering the chariot. But Bhagavan says, in spite of doing everything, I am not karta. One reason is there is no insistence on karma phala. And second is because I abide in that higher self, which is akarta, abhokta. Now Bhagwan, as usual, he says it is not only sufficient to know Bhagwan Krishna as somebody who is not tainted by karma and karma phala. He says, Arjuna, you are also like that. Iti mam yaha abhijanati karma bhi nasa badhyate. The one who knows this truth in essence. Meaning what? The one who knows essential nature of Bhagwan is Akarta, Abhokta, Chaitanya, Atma. One who has understood himself as Akarta, Abhokta, Atma. He says that person is never bound by karma. This is similar to that story we had seen. What was that story? The sheep getting mixed with lion cubs. No, the lion cub getting mixed with sheeps. And then it starts behaving like the sheeps over there. And the lion comes and says, knowing lion to be strong, you will become strong. Knowing lion to be of whatever qualities the lion is, you will become that. Now, how will you make sense of that statement? The lion cub has to understand, I am already lion. I don't have to become a lion one day and then I will become strong. So Bhagwan says to Arjuna, know that you are ever akarta, you are ever abhokta. In Gurudev's BMI chart, we see that Om on top, right? All of you have seen the BMI chart at some point. In one Balvihar session, I had that BMI chart. I did not end up explaining it. So the kid asked me later, one small boy came and said, Somji, do you have eye problem? He thought that BMI chart is to read the eyeglass number. They're so creative, with whatever things they see it in a very different light. That Om, which is there, that is Akarta, Abhokta, our higher nature. PFT, perceiver, feeler, thinker, that is this finite individual jiva. So it is not that one day after a lot of sadhana, this jiva will become Ishvara or jiva will become Shuddha Chaitanya. He says right now, right here, through knowledge if we can appreciate, he says that person is not bound by karma. Last session I had mentioned, this particular verse is the essence of Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Chatushloki Bhagavatam, it is said, is the essence of entire Bhagavatam. So that is the style of our teaching. They will give few shlokas in brief and then they will elaborate it through different means. So Brahmaji goes to Lord Vishnu and he says, Bhagwan, you have given me such a big task. I have to take care of creation. Appropriate karma phalas, I have to give people. So much of responsibility is there. And moment our responsibilities increase, doership also increases. How am I going to handle this? Bhagwan, tell me some insights. So Bhagwan says, don't worry. 4 shlokas, Chatushloki Bhagavatam he gives. The real karta, he says in Saguna form, is the Lord only. You are only the instrument. Become the karana in his hands and do your work. From a sadhana standpoint. But in true essence, if you try to see, this kartrutva is also an appearance. That is the absolute truth. There is nothing in this world that you have to be too concerned about. In dream, there are so many karmas that the dreamer does. Several karmas he does, several people he interacts with in this world. But the moment he wakes up, all of that kartrutva is gone, all of that bhoktrutva is gone. Whatever happened in the dream world, no impression of that is left on the waking person. Means he does not try to fix anything back in the dream world. He started constructing a house, 3-story he wanted to construct, 2 are done, 1 is remaining. He doesn't say, let me go back, finish it and come. In that way, a jnani sees the waking world. Waking up from sleep in waking world is like that. Mohanisa sabasova nihara, dekhiya sapna aneka prakara. Goswamiji says in Ramcharitmanas, if we are asleep towards our higher nature, then we start projecting different dreams. One is this world gets projected, and within that world, different anxieties, different fears, different emotions, they keep getting projected. So true Vedanta sadhana is to address issues at the root cause. What is the root cause? They say ajnanam. Ignorance is the root cause. But if somebody says, okay, that is not appealing to me right now. If somebody has Shraddha, they will at least give it a benefit of doubt. Benefit of doubt meaning they'll accept this fact because Upanishads are saying, Bhagavan is saying that Jagat is not absolutely real. In the Ramayana class, we were discussing this. If a scientist comes and tells me, this is not harmonium, this is energy. This is not matter, this is energy. I say, no, this is harmonium. What will the scientist say? Give me a chance. Let me explain. There is a process of understanding. Once you walk the systematic path, you will appreciate that. Sometimes they call matter as frozen light. Different poetic ways. You can appreciate different things subtler than what meets the eye. So many perceptions are deceptive. Eyes tell me earth is flat. What will the scientist say? Give me a chance. Let me elaborate. Vedanta Acharya is also telling the same thing. Systematically study Vedanta and come to appreciate what is Vedanta trying to tell us. Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spruha. So now more from a sadhana standpoint. This was from Vedanta standpoint. Let us try to appreciate the word. What is meant by lepa of karma? Lepa means layer. What is lepa of karma? One lepa is whatever karma we do, that becomes the cause for future shariras. That is the first thing that karma does. It brings about future physical bodies. We might not have thought about it, but this is how it works. In Puranas, there are different stories which again and again remind us, be very careful about what we are seeking in life. All of us have heard about this, many of us might have heard about the story of Raja Bharata. We call him Jada Bharata, but he was a great jnani. Now he was a saint, was doing his tapasya in the forest, and he gets fascinated by a baby deer. Very cute looking, small baby deer, and gets so attached to it that he starts dropping all his sadhanas. Whatever japa he used to do, that time he spends for the deer. And his whole life revolves around deer only. And the deer goes away to some place at one point, he is unable to find it. Generally we do stuti of Bhagavan. He does stuti of deer. In Bhagavatam it is said, it is said wherever your feet are, those places have been purified. Like that he starts talking about deer. And then next birth, he gets sharira of a deer. Because he was a great Mahatma, he doesn't lose sight of the tapasyas he had done in the past. And next time, again when he gets human body, there is a saying in Hindi, right? Doodh ka jala, chhach bhi phuk phuk ke pita hai. Means if you have burnt your tongue once drinking hot milk, even if somebody gives buttermilk, that person still blows and then drinks it. In the next birth, he was so alert, he said, nothing I should make as goal of life other than Bhagavan. Because these are subtle attachments, you never know when they will leave an impression. Deer is one animal, it's very sweet looking, but it has caused entire Ramayana. Sita ji saw one deer, things went in a different direction. That is the first lepa. It brings sharira in the future birth. Second lepa of karma is, it leaves behind different vasanas. We might not notice it, but whatever makes us repeat some karma, for that karma, one has gained vasanas. Puja Gurudev summarized vasanas as helpless expressions of our past. Mahatma's words, it is digested wisdom. He said, what is vasana? Helpless expression. Means even though I don't want to do something, I end up doing it. But we should not always look at vasanas as a bad thing. If we can cultivate vasanas for good things, that same push inside will make us go in the right direction. Hasn't it happened that we have gone to some sattvic place where mind was calm, we really had a good routine. Even without thinking much, mind wants to go there again. Many of us go to Krishnalaya because of the past impressions we have had there. Many of us might go to some Tirtha Kshetra in India because when we went there last time, or we heard somebody go there last time, we said there was something beautiful about it. So that type of vasana is also there, which is good vasana. It will actually bring us out from samsara. But one lepa of karma is, whatever we start doing, if we are not alert, we will get attached to that thing. And this thought also comes, if I don't do it, how will this work get done? That is also one lepa of karma. Right? Now the other side is also lepa of guna. The first one was gives rise to future bodies. Second was lepa in the form of vasanas. Third one is lepa in the form of changing our inner gunas. Means whenever we start doing karma, there is some changes of gunas which happens inside. If we are alert, we can grow from tamoguna to rajoguna and grow from rajoguna to sattvaguna. If one is not alert, it can happen in the other direction also. Haven't we seen? We say, before I started this action, I was very calm. The moment I started it, a lot of agitation has come. So Bhagavan is going to say, this karma topic is very subtle. We have to appreciate it in a more deeper way. Through all these things, there is lepa of gunas. Okay? Main thing is how to be free from this lepa of karma. Karma brings these three layers, these three taints on our personality. How to be free from it? Bhagavan says, have no spruha in karma phala. Don't insist too heavily on few things. At the same time, recognize your own nature as akarta, abhokta, non-doer, non-enjoyer. The one who does this is free from karma. Now Bhagavan says, Arjuna, keeping this same philosophy in mind, people in the past, they looked at karma as an opportunity, not as a bondage. Whatever duties we have been given in life, people looked at it as an opportunity, not as a bondage. That Bhagavan is elaborating in 15th verse. Let's chant it. Evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaih purvataram kritam evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaih purvataram kritam. He is concluding this topic. Arjuna again and again feels he should run away from this battlefield. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, having appreciated the power of karma, that it brings quick results, it has the ability to purify the mind, it has the ability to make us fit for Vedanta study, Moksha Purushartha. Keeping this in mind, all the people in the past, they engaged in doing intelligent karma. They did not run away from responsibilities. You should also not run away from your responsibilities. In Vedanta it is said, moksha is sadhyo mukti. Have you heard it any time? Right at that moment you get liberation. There is no time delay. Whenever knowledge takes place, moksha is accomplished. If you have not heard, this is the promise in Vedanta. In other darshanas, they will say, okay, after giving up this body, you will go to some loka. There you will have mukti. Vedanta says, no, credit business. After going somewhere, you will get something. Who knows what will happen after you go somewhere? The moment knowledge takes place, that moment this person is freed. But just like in every promise, there are terms and conditions apply. The terms and conditions applied in Vedanta is only when Karma Yoga is done well, Vedanta's promise of moksha will work. Only when Karma Yoga is done well, the promise given by Vedanta, that right when knowledge takes place, that person is freed. That type of mind is attained through Karma Yoga. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, if you are a mumukshu, your question in 3rd chapter was, if I am seeking knowledge, why are you telling me to do this ghora karma? Appreciate this connection, Arjuna, that if you are seeking moksha, abidance in that Atma, it will happen only in that mind which has done Karma Yoga. Now Karma Yoga also, we can look in different facets. One simple applied facet of Karma Yoga is one who can live amidst people. One who can live amidst people with acceptance. That is called as Karma Yoga in action. Because his goal is to abide in Brahma. Right? And what is Brahma? It is the adhishthanam of entire creation. It is the substratum of entire creation. There is nothing in this world which is at conflict with Brahman. Right? Brahman is that substratum which enlivens his entire creation. In that Brahman he wants to abide in. So his vyavahara should be such that he can be having the same quality that Brahman has in Paramartha in his vyavahara. So acceptance is the sadhana part of Karma Yoga. One of the name of Yudhishthira is Ajata Shatru. You know what is Ajata Shatru? Ajata means not born. The one whose enemy is not born is called as Ajata Shatru. Now you might say Duryodhana was right there. How do you say Yudhishthira is Ajata Shatru? He says it is not from other standpoint. It is from Yudhishthira's standpoint. In his eyes, he doesn't look at anybody as his Shatru. And in general, it is easy to appreciate that. How many people are there in this world? Probably, how many billions? 7 billion. Okay, whatever that number is, okay, 7 billion. Out of that, 90% or 99.99% to think they are our Ajata Shatru is so easy. Right? We never look at them as Shatru. It is going to be those few people with whom we live, with whom we interact. If there we can bring this bhavana that I am a devotee of the Lord, and for a devotee, everybody is Bhagavad Swarupa. Where is the question of Shatru for that person? He says that will become the qualification for abiding in Vedantic knowledge. So that is this part where he says, Evam nyatva krutam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. And in all Upanishads, Vedantic teaching was not given right away. In Chandogya also we saw, Indra had to go several times to Brahmaji. And he had to stay there for 32 years at a stretch. So multiplied by 3 times plus 5 years, it becomes 101 years he stayed there. But while he stayed, he did seva. Served Brahmaji, and that became the reason for gaining this supreme knowledge. Seva is that part where we overcome our own limitations. What happens outside is a byproduct of seva. He says real labha, real benefit of seva should happen inside. You see Prashnopanishad, 6 students go to the Rishi. They say, teacher, we have a question. Teacher says, stay for 1 year. Do seva. In that time period, we will grow from within. One of the requirements for seva is there is no insistence on how I want to do things. Right? Imagine those 6 students staying in Pippalada Rishi's ashram. They say, oh, Acharya, whatever your ashram, however it is run. He says, we have few things to contribute. What time we should wake up? He says, 4 o'clock is too early. Let me ring the bell at 6 o'clock. He says, nothing doing. Whatever is the niyamas which are followed, that niyama is followed by the one who is doing seva. Now we should also not think seva is always outside. Main thing is seva bhava, which comes in every place that we are. Right? Shabri did seva in her own home. Whatever action was done, her mindset was, I am doing this to please my Lord. That simple action became her seva. The one who can do this, live life like that, that person will attain this Vedantic knowledge. Evam nyatva krutam karma. We are elaborating the same verse. Arjuna, knowing the power of karma in this way, you do your action, whatever is given to you. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram krutam. Whatever wise people in the past they have done, you also do in the same way. If you are a mumukshu, do karma for chitta shuddhi. If you are a jnani, Bhagavan is not telling Arjuna, but he is saying, if somebody is a jnani, he says that jnani should do karma for loka sangraha. Loka sangraha means, Bhagavan gave a precise definition, to avoid people from going on the wrong path. If the leader does things which are not something that others can look up to, very quickly everybody starts doing the same thing. Why? Because we are by nature, we imitate people. Bhagavan said this in 3rd chapter. Yadyada charati shreshtaha tattat eva itaro janaha. Keeping that in mind, do karma, set the right example. So either way, if you look at it, there is no reason to run away. Now Arjuna says, Bhagavan, if you want me to do karma, why don't you directly tell me to do karma? Why are you giving examples of people in the past like Janak Maharaj did karma, those people did karma? If you can directly tell me, I am your devotee, I trust your words, I have surrendered to you. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, I don't want you to just become a mechanical person. Because I have said something, you are going and doing it. He says, I want you to appreciate all facets of karma. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji gives this connection between the next verses. He says, Bhagavan wants Arjuna to appreciate the depth of karma. That is why he is elaborating the topic of karma now. Okay, next two verses, let us chant together. Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajñātvā mokṣase shubhāt karmano hyapi bodhavyam bodhavyam ca vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaah tatte karma pravakshyami yajñātvā mokṣase shubhāt karmano hyapi bodhavyam bodhavyam ca vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Kim karma, kim akarma. What is meant by action? And what is the nature of that Atma, which is akarma? So here akarma word means Atma. That consciousness which is ever free from doership and all types of action. What is the nature of that consciousness? Between these two, even the wise people are confused. Kavayaha api atra mohitaha. Kavayaha means those people who are wise. They might know several other things, but when it comes to the nature of Atma and nature of karma, even they get confused. Kavi means that, one who is able to see things, one who can get insight into things, that person is called as Kavi. Ordinary person, what experience looks very straightforward. A Kavi sees so much of beauty in and through that. That's all what is, or that is one of the facet which makes a poet great. Right? Ordinary looking sunlight comes and hits the earth. In that they can write a poetry. So it is said, Jahan na pahunche Ravi, wahan pahunche Kavi. Where sunlight cannot reach, there a poet can reach. Jahan na pahunche Ravi, jahan na pahunche Kavi, wahan pahunche Anubhavi. Where a poet cannot reach, where the mind cannot think, in that an Anubhavi Purusha means one who has realized the truth, that person can reach. But here it is Kavi. The Kavis are also, the wise people are also sometimes deluded, confused about what is karma, what is Atma. But Arjuna, don't feel that this inquiry is meaningless. Why do I need to know about karma? Why do I need to know about Atma? He is telling, Tatte karma pravakshyami. That clear knowledge I will give you, and the result will be yajñātvā mokṣase ashubhāt. Having known this knowledge, you will be freed from lot of calamities in life. Ashubhat means different calamities which can come due to ignorance. All of that will be removed from your life through this knowledge. Yajñātvā mokṣase ashubhāt. Now, what is the confusion about? The next lines, the next verse, 17th verse, the last quarter is oft quoted. Gahana karmano gatihi. Sometimes it is quoted just casually also. If somebody does something in a very tricky way, you don't know what he is doing, tries to go this way, that way. So people also say, Gahana karmano gatihi. Never know what this person will end up doing next. But here what it means is, for us to appreciate the true meaning of karma is very difficult. How is it difficult? You see the verse now. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam. Bhagavan says, I will give you clear knowledge about what is karma. Karma over here refers to Shastra Vihita karma. Means it is said, for a brahmachari, there are certain enjoined actions by Shastra. For a grahastha, there are some enjoined actions for a grahastha. That I will give you clear knowledge. But Arjuna might ask, Bhagavan, if it's already said in Vedas, what are you adding by repeating that thing? Bhagavan says, my unique contribution is, I will tell you in such a way that you can practice in your everyday life. Shastra Vihita karma only, but we know the kind of life we live. If somebody says you have to do the same kind of karma which is said in Shastra in the traditional way, it will become almost impossible for this person to live that life. For example, it is said, Grahastha should do Agnishtoma, Agnihotra. Agnihotra, Yajna should be done every day in a Grahastha's life. This is Shastra Vihita karma. But it is said in Kali Yuga, what is the way to do it? So Bhagwan's master stroke is, he is pointing out 13 different yajnas in 4th chapter. He says, keeping the same spirit of Shastra Vihita karma, I will give you some insights how you can apply those karmas in your everyday life and get the same result, what one would have gotten by doing those Shastra Vihita karma. Yajnaha kshapita kalmashaha. The last, after elaborating 13 different types of yajnas, the final line Bhagavan says is, if you do this yajna, at least one of those 13, kalmasha in life will be removed. Kalmasha means what? Impurity. The impurities of the mind will be washed away by doing those yajnas. Everybody is with me? What is Bhagavan trying to say here? This is his promise. By the end of 4th chapter, you should be able to go and see whether he has delivered his promise or not. First one, he says, I will explain what is Shastra Vihita karma. But by not merely repeating what is said already in Vedas, by putting it in the context for day-to-day living. So much so that Bhagavan says, moderation of eating, moderation in eating is yajna. Like this 13 different facets he points out. When it comes, we will see. This is the first promise. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. Vikarmana here refers to forbidden actions. Forbidden actions, pratishiddha karma. Now Bhagavan, what are we going to get by you explaining to us what is forbidden karma? He says, no, I am not only going to elaborate it, I will also explain how to cross over it. How to cross over whatever pratishiddha karmas might have happened in the past and how to cross over the tendency to do pratishiddha karma. This verse will also come in 4th chapter. It says, apichedasi papebhyaha sarvebhyaha papakruttamaha. So papa word there refers to pratishiddha karma. How to cross over this papa, he says, I will explain in 4th chapter. But not only in 4th chapter. In 16th chapter when he explains Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. So entire Asuri Sampatti is pratishiddha karma only. So don't look at only 4th chapter as Bhagavan's promise. It's extending even beyond. Okay, 2 promises are done. First one is Shastra Vihita Karma. Second is Pratishiddha Karma. Third one he says Akarmanascha Bodhavyam. This is the most important one. I will explain what is meant by true solitude. Akarmana means what? Just withdrawing oneself and sitting quietly. But that by itself, Bhagavan says, is not the real meaning of solitude. The true solitude is to know Atma as Akarma. In and through every action, recognizing the actionless self. In and through every action, recognizing actionless self. That also I will elaborate. Otherwise, life will be a struggle. We will always feel when I'm away from everything, when I'm away from people, just by myself in one place, that is when I'm peaceful. The moment I step out in the world, start doing my actions, interact with people, whole samsara comes back. And Vedantic moksha is to remove this notion of any conditioning that we put on moksha. What is the conditioning here? When I'm in particular place, when I'm at a particular time, without anything outside, then only I am free. It says if that is your condition, that condition will become another bondage. Right? Vedanta's moksha is unconditional moksha. These are just promises. Elaboration will come in the later verses. He says this akarmanaha also I will explain elaborately. Gahana karmano gatihi. That is why Arjuna, I am not only interested in telling you fight this war or don't fight this war. I want you to appreciate all these facets. What is Shastra Vihita Karma? How does it translate in our everyday life? Puja Gurudev would call Sanatana Dharma as an organic religion. Organic religion means what? Keeping the philosophy intact. Practices have evolved over time. If you don't do that, that person will lose faith in religion. He'll start feeling that's an impractical solution they are giving. It is not meant for us. You should listen to Puja Gurudev's introduction to Bhagavatam. Half an hour talk it is. It's on YouTube also. He's speaking about how our rishis took the same message and presented it to us in the form of Puranas. So many stories, so many other things woven into it. But the final message is that Chaitanya. And Nishiddha Karma, Pratishiddha Karma, not only to elaborate it, but to know how to cross over it. And the third one is true essence of akarma. Akarma doesn't mean withdrawing ourselves and going into some solitary place. Akarma means to understand the nature of ourselves, to understand our own nature as akarta atma. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihina yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. Whether he is in yoga or he is in bhoga, whether he is in sangha or he is asanga, means whether he is with people or without people, whether he is turned inwards, sitting in the seat of meditation or doing his daily duties. In all situations, this person revels in that bliss. That secret, Arjuna, I am going to tell in this chapter. Please do keep coming. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.